Nino.
Hey, not too much. How have you been, Tony?
I've been in and out, a little tired, a little occupied at Liberty City, but you know.
Oh, okay. Everything good?
Yeah. Yeah, just frustrations of getting help with cars and stuff.
Yeah.
Anyways, what's good? How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I had a long conversation with Moss and Peters where they wanted me to be a little bit straightforward, so I kind of like, gave them a taste of reality. And Peters clammed up. And Moss spoke about going hard on problem cops, but the problem is, like, I haven't really seen any evidence of it. You know what I mean? So it's yeah.
I've seen some from the LS, or they just did something on the LSPD side. I don't think I've seen anything
from the 8 months
PCSO side, but that's their problem.
Wait, what do you mean?
I heard that there might be a civil case because a cop got fired recently.
What do you mean?
Between you and me,
yeah,
this doesn't really get out because it's still like something that's in development.
Yeah.
I think a guy named Frost is suing.
Nah. See, this is what I'm talking about. They just get fucking walked over. This guy, they waited fucking 2 months to get rid of him.
2 months?
Yeah. And I'm just like, how am I supposed to believe? Like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, how am I supposed to believe that there's like, yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ. Oh, at least they are going hard. Just,
That's not going hard. You create a situation where, no, because in those 2 months, you've created a atmosphere where you're allowed to do everything that everyone knows that guy did. Like, but I don't think they recognize this.
They didn't swat it down before.
No,
they let it fester for
exactly. They're creating a problem themselves, right? At that point, you haven't solved it. You're all you're doing is like, I mean, and this kind of goes beyond this, right? Is they're saying that they were having meetings about like PD standards are going down and how they're planning on solving it. I'm like, well, and they spent 12 hours this week on it. I'm like, do you want me to clap my hands? Right? I spent 12 hours yesterday on duty. You know what I mean? Like, I've been in multiple 12-hour meetings on shit like this. Like, 12 hours today doesn't change that it got to this because there was no fucking oversight.
I mean, like I said, 2 months minimum that this has been happening. So.
Exactly. Until the reality is, and like I've, rosy tinted glasses are gone for me, right? Is at the end of the day, just as most criminals want to go around and bust into things, the PD, by and large, wants to just zoom around and, be an action hero, right? They don't actually want accountability, right? And until they have a semblance of putting the foot down, then they will themselves be walked all over, and in turn, so would the civilians, right?
You talked to Ray recently about what happened yesterday?
I know all about it, and I fucking brought it up, right? And Peters was immediately like defensive for the cops. He said, well, it doesn't seem like they did anything wrong. And I'm like, huh? Like, he's like, well, we already solved it. They shouldn't shoot when they get in the car. I'm like, bro, this is not the response I'm looking for. You know what I mean? Like, it's anytime I hear like a black and white, like, answer, I'm just sort of like, this wasn't actually like processed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because it only takes care of
it's lazy.
It only takes care of the tip of the iceberg, but not the actual iceberg itself. Because like, yeah, this one-time incident, you looked at it and be like, you shouldn't do that. But what about the underlying problems that led to this situation, right? There's nothing addressing the sort of like what's under the surface level that I encouraged them to take this route, because when they told me that they handed over the hostage and everything over to them, and that's when they decided to shoot, when there was no active threat anymore to anybody, it was kind of like, this is low-key kind of illegal.
It's not technically. Technically, Tennessee versus Ghana would protect them, but at some stage along the way, the DOJ and the police department apparently were never informed or whatever that, I don't know, I may need to change Tennessee versus Ghana. I hate this so much. I hate this. I hate everything. I fucking hate it. You know why? Because back in the day, everyone in the fucking mother knew that Tennessee versus Ghana still required like the fleeing felon to be like an active fucking threat. And the fact that no one fucking knows this anymore. No, they're it's being utilized like it would in like New York, right? Where like if someone held up a bank, the cops can shoot them down once they leave. And so, like, does that mean I gotta fucking pass legislation? Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that'd be ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But
I think this is something we kind of said before, like not everything needs to be written down. We just have to be better. We just have to understand things better.
Yeah. So it leaves me like kind of like I don't know. I'm having to be the interface between the PD and the public, and there's just zero honesty there, right? And when you don't have honesty, it's just shit. I was being told that that Ray wanted more cops to show up. And I'm like, how do you know this? And he's like, I'm reading the report, and like, and I'm like, you're a cop. You can't even tell me, like, in clear English with a straight face, why that is true. You can't, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, so you're just assuming, right? Was it communicated to Ray that it's going to turn into a breach? And in his own word, in his own statement, he said, like, well, cops were really pissed at them that they had to do this. And I'm like,
that's never an excuse.
I know.
That is a very dangerous thing to say.
I know. I don't know, man.
We did it because we were emotional. Okay, I don't know if you should be wearing that badge.
I didn't know how to respond to it, man.
The last thing the PD needs is a raging fitting toddler. Like that. Oh my god. Well. Oh, Nino, you good? Oh,
yeah.
Phone
Yeah, I'm good. I'm listening.
There was a sudden sound. I was like, oh shit, did something happen? No, it's just, god damn.
It's
so
it's a lot of like reactionary solution finding, and the thing is, it's it's like I had to stop Ray yesterday from fucking setting up ambushes, right? Now, don't get me wrong, an ambush is fucking brain dead as fuck, just straight up, because you're actually just justifying the police position if that becomes like a reaction, right?
Right.
It's not like Ray is unique in that, right? That's probably something that most
it's a typical response from the city. I feel like if anybody else got put in that situation.
But it's also gonna be read from the police as like it entrenches them more in their psychotic behavior. But from, in my opinion, when it comes to felons and gangs, it's a consequence of not having another choice. Like it becomes like a, well, this is all we can do as their form of communication. Like it's their only out. It's their only avenue, right? And, you know, and I tried to communicate that there needs to be communication like about these things, because if the city doesn't know what law enforcement is doing to resolve these things, then they are going to walk away saying that this is what the cops are doing now, and they don't give a fuck. And so then anything that comes the PD's way is in a way self-fulfilling, right?
Yeah. No, that's exactly my worry about it, because my initial reaction was, okay, well, you guys gave over the hostage and everything. I know this is in New York, but at this point, like, you know, from what we've seen, what we're used to, the active threat is over with. But if they're just going to shoot him for handing over the hostage,
Brad,
I mean,
think of the 15
message
months.
to the criminals is, what's the point? Why not just shoot the hostage when they leave and stuff like that, right? And then these are like extreme cases, but I mean, when these things are happening more often, it's sort of, like you said, what else is there to do? Because there's no such, it feels like there's no such thing as good faith anymore if this keeps up.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I mean, assuming the election goes well and everything, what's our move with that thing? Because I feel like
I don't know, to be honest. It's I don't think this police department either has been really producing command members. And as much good as Peters and Moss have done, they actively let shit slide for the past 6 weeks, maybe 2 months. Like, and I'm not sure if I don't know, like, you know, it's a tough, like, there is no, it's not producing athletes is what it is. It's like it's like having a college team, right, that had like some superstars, but now that team is like, you know, they don't have any captains. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it's kind of one of those things where they're, you know, either their playtime's gone out, their 4 years is up, the scholarships are out, and stuff like that, but they haven't really brought up the next generation, right? The next class of recruits.
Yeah.
And, or it also feels like, you know, her description is like, it feels like with Moss and Peters, like individually they're skilled players, but I don't think you've seen the coaching from them. Because it doesn't sound like, what was it? Their leadership is good, but it's not like really developing anybody.
They just need someone active. They really do. Yeah.
I mean, is active just the only thing though? I feel like just because there's a lot of people around, I feel like there's definitely some people around, but I mean, look at Shift 1 when Maxwell's not around. There's some oddities that happen more often.
There's kind of like a bigger problem at play too that I myself can't solve between like Moss and Peters. Is Peters consistently has communicated to me in so many words that he's getting undermined, right? And that his opinion doesn't matter. Is that he is told to do one thing one day and then has to do something else the next, right? And I can see it from a mile away that he is pretty much a scapegoat when things go bad, but his actual opinions are pretty irrelevant, right? And that is clear by action, right? When I pressed on this specifically, for example, the Ruby promotion, right? And I made it clear, like, you know, I don't fucking know Ruby anymore, but how is it that Peters didn't agree with the promotion, but like she got promoted anyways? And she said, and Moss tells me, well, Maxwell didn't tell me till 10 days later. And it's like, well, did you ask her before the promotion took place? And it was like, no answer, right? So it's like these are your issues. Like, you're not talking to your people. And you can't blame that, well, no one told me, because no one knew you were going to promote them, right? You didn't ask for their opinion, right? You can't just say, well, I didn't know. It's like, that's
Smiley
part
face.
of your job. Like, you know what I mean? Like, think about how many times I ask you guys for opinions before I make a big decision, right? It's because I don't have the full picture. Nobody can. And I'm around a million, like, you know, a lot.
Yeah.
So it's like you can't just be like oopsie daisy, right? Because that's what I'm hearing. It's oopsie daisy. You know what I mean? Oh fuck, that actually works.
Yeah, I was about to say, is that a
Yeah, no, that was
monster?
unintentional. You know, but
Oh, I get it, because like not only that too, like it's important to talk to other people, because like not only
they're
is it
not
about getting
talking
the
to
big
each other.
picture,
They're
but
talking to each other, but not like to each other. You know what I mean?
right. So one of those situations where, like, I hear you, I'm just not listening type of deal, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, Peter
Yeah,
does that too. He gets so defensive. You can tell he's like in a different fucking universe.
right. Yeah,
Like when shit got real, right? They both pressed me. They're like pretty much saying like, "Hey, you're not being like upfront." And then I was upfront, and Peter's just went into his shell. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's not helpful, right?
I was about to say, because like when it comes to, because like the Ruby situation you mentioned, like I'm kind of surprised that they didn't really talk with more of the command members, because when it comes to promotions, like I mean, it's one thing to recognize somebody's, like, I
Bro,
guess, skill if you're doing a promotion, but it's like you also gotta make sure that, I don't know, you gotta make sure that the environment, or not environment, but the team that you're promoting them within
yeah,
is like, it doesn't cause much of a ruckus, right? Because promotions are good
exactly.
for the individual, but it
Yeah,
can be demoralizing for the team if you do it
100%.
wrong.
Yeah. Wait, someone's here at the quote center. Let me see.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, what's going on,
When are you guys
brother?
opening up again?
Well, it depends on the results tomorrow. Yep.
Oh, tomorrow? Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yeah. The
I thought you
mayoral
guys were open
elections
just
and whatnot.
now. 'Cause I just came up to have a look.
No, we try to. We're eventually gonna hopefully get to a point where we're open more often. But
Okay.
yep.
I thought you guys
Slowly
were
but
open. That's why
surely.
I came up here to have a little look around. But
Yeah,
then
no, feel free to
realized
come in.
everything's all
Yeah,
closed.
feel free to come in and have a look around, brother.
I've already had a little sneak peek.
Oh, hell yeah.
All
All right.
right.
So I gotta get
going.
I gotta get going just
you're
because
good,
I'm
Bob.
on. All right, you take care.
Good luck for tomorrow.
Appreciate it.
For you.
Wait, Chaos Legion voted for me? What? Huh.
Wait, what?
Yeah, a guy from Chaos Legion was just checking out Quad and he goes, "Hey, good luck tomorrow. I voted for you." But he's Chaos Legion. Okay.
Yeah, I thought.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what to believe anymore, to be honest.
Yeah. That's
Because I thought Chaos Legion was
they're in
really
Sandy.
strong. Well, they were really strong mumbles when
yeah.
and based on the feedback that I heard from, how my interaction with them, plus the feedback I heard from Princess.
What an asshole!
But I don't know. Opinions are whimsical.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Nino, are we, if everything works out, right, everything's re-elected, are we finally moving forward with the with the PD stuff? It sounds like, are we going to move forward with that review panel thing then that we talked about a few months back?
Yes. So I talked to Michael about it, and I think we just got to do it because at the end of the day, the PD is not going to be responsible for themselves. So we need to make that responsibility. And effectively, I think the spitballing idea is that in the event that, what do you call it? In the event that, there needs to be a vehicle by which civilians, either singular or otherwise, if they pass some criterion, because we don't want to have like fucking, hearings all the fucking time, right? It needs to be on like big public safety related things, right? Things that are very egregious, is that there is a mechanism by which there is a hearing and they need to attend and answer questions. But I also think the hearing needs to be in a format that does not take like all day. You know what I mean? And the weight of the, the weight of the what do you call it? Of the hearing should depend on, I don't know. Like we got, like, I don't want it. This is a tough part, right? Because I want the hearing to have like weight to it, but I also don't want it to turn into like, yo, it's the expectation that you get fired by going to it. You know what I mean? So
Right.
we're gonna need to cook on it a little bit. But knowing how the city is, the reaction's probably going to be extreme one way or another, right? It's going to either be like, hey, it's for firing cops, or on the flip side that it's meaningless. So we at least, in our own minds, need to be comfortable with it.
Yeah, I think it was something we have to cook on for a bit because,
yeah,
like I said, there's no in between with these things, and I mean, I guess no matter what, when it comes to accountability and comps, like, no matter what happens, like, people will doom spiral.
Yeah,
regardless of what happens. Like,
exactly.
In my very first civil case, like, we made a cop pay $1,500 for beating somebody in the back of the head with a baton, and even though that they said that they did nothing wrong, it's just all like compensation. That $1,500 set them in a doom spiral for the next hour.
I agree.
Saying how, cops can't do this, cops can't do that. It's just like,
yep,
anyways.
All right. Well, Tony, we got till 8 p.m. So, let's try to get the last couple votes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. I'm
right.
gonna get some before if I have to step out of the city, but I'll get to it I'll get as many as I can before that the play clock's over with.
Yep. All right. Easy.
Anyways, do you have any plans to yourself to do that, or are you gonna be just doing other things for a bit?
Wait, say again?
Do you have plans to do any more campaigning or anything like that? Or you got other plans?
Yeah. I'm gonna make phone calls. I'm gonna go around and see if anyone hasn't voted, and then try to bring them along, and then we'll see what tomorrow happens, and then we'll start cooking. I think courts and the hearings are gonna be kind of where I focus everything on. You know what I mean?
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right.
All right, Nino. Well, I'm gonna get to it then.
All right.
If anything else pops up, let me know. Should be around for a little bit longer. If not, I mean, text message or email.
Yeah.
If you need anything crazy.
All right. Easy.
All right then.
All right, brother. Talk to you soon.
You have a good one.